Thank you, Catherine. Good morning, everybody. As mentioned before, I'm Sara Huntingdon. I'm the Programme Manager for the Space for Smarter Government programme. I'm delighted to see such a great turnout today and so many new faces in the room. I can remember attending this event before I started in this job, sort of this time last year, and just remember sitting there being blown away by how wide the remit of the public sector and their role was, and also what you could do from space. You know, I came from a space telecoms background, and just the whole sort of Earth observation discipline alone just amazed me. So I'm hoping for those that are new here today, you get a similar revelation. So my role today is just to give you an overview of what we're going to cover today. We've got quite a mixed audience here today. Some of you are already involved in SSGP and you're aware of what we do and how we do it. Some of you are brand new to this, and welcome to those people who are new to this. We're really glad to see you here. I'm just going to give you a very quick overview of where this programme's come from, just so you can sort of see the wider context. So Catherine's already mentioned the Space Growth Action Plan. The Civil Space Strategy was launched in 2012, and as one of the sort of pathways to UK growth, growth through smarter government was mentioned. There's the real sort of key takeaway from this slide is really that SSGP sits on a very firm policy mandate. There is a whole bunch of policy documents and strategic documents that it aligns to. There is also clear alignment around the goal to hit the sort of 40 billion UK space sector by 2030. So even though we're about helping the public sector, we're also about trying to deliver those growth targets for the UK as well. So what is SSGP? At its most basic level, it's a technology-enabled change programme. We work with the public sector and industry to try and find ways to help the public sector deliver their day jobs in a different way, whether that's with less resource, less money, or finding different ways of working. Catherine's already mentioned that new data and new services are increasingly available. Our challenge is to make you aware of those developments and how they could help you do your day job. It's quite a new approach. I say we're very much working on technology as well as the business change elements. We recognise that sometimes departments need help to adopt a new technology, so we work with our industry and public sector partners to try and enable that sort of hump of change to be done efficiently and effectively. In terms of the team, I work within the Growth Directorate in the UK Space Agency, working to Emily Gravestock, who's our Head of Application Strategy, who's in the audience today at the back, giving you a wave. And we both work to Catherine Mealing-Jones, who's the Director of Growth, who's also the Senior Responsible Owner for the programme. Catherine, unfortunately, can't be here today. She sends her apologies, but she's looking forward to watching the video that we're filming today later on. So hopefully that will be available after the event. The programme itself, even though it's quite small within the Space Agency, is delivered in collaboration with the Satellite Applications Catapult at Harwell. We have a ring-fenced team there that provides sort of neutral advice to government. So the team are here today. There's John Veazey, who many of you will have met, Jenny Durnan is also on the front row, and Joanna, who many of you will have probably received invitations from today. And they'll be around all day if you want to hear a bit more about SSGP. The benefits of having sort of the Catapult involved with the agency is that we combine a best-of-breed approach. So the Catapult have that linkages to industry, academia, the SME. They have that knowledge of the wider space market and the applications market. And having the sort of programme led within the Space Agency ensures that we get access to government. And it's a good combination, and it's been working well for the last 2 years. The programme is based around 3 pillars. We've mentioned education, making people aware of what the art of the possible is. We spend a lot of time increasing awareness across the public sector. We're also there to improve access, so making people aware of what's out there, who they need to talk to, and also where there are similar requirements across government. The third pillar of the programme is about demonstrating capability. And that's mainly why you're here today, is to sort of see what we've been doing over the last year in that pillar. So I mentioned those sort of things. How we do go about doing this is We run a number of discovery days. We can run training sessions. We do workshops. We've run discovery days for local authorities. The most recent one we've run was for the Cross-Government Earth Observation Working Group, which had over 80 attendees from the public sector and industry. All that information is published online on our website. We've mentioned about enabling access. We sit on a number of cross-government working groups, Earth Observation and the RPAS, Remotely Piloted Airborne Systems Working Group. So we're joining up the dots between different initiatives because we increasingly find that space on its own is not what the public sector wants. It's a combination of space and other technologies and sensor systems. So we're making sure that we're working across these different things that can be pulled together and making sure they integrate. And we're also about demonstrating capability. We do a lot of work around helping government departments clarify their requirements, and then we also run competitions to enable public sector applications to be developed. And we're just providing the seed funding there to sort of get an idea going and to show people the art of the possible. So today's all about showcasing those things, but all the above is also being ticked off today because we're raising awareness and giving you access by giving you that access to that network today. So we mentioned about, apologies to any rocket scientists in the audience. I think until recently, space was seen as very niche, quite geeky, bit exotic and very expensive. I'm really pleased to say that's changing. The profile of space has been steadily rising. It's also been helped recently a lot by this chap. I'm afraid he can't be with us today. I haven't got a live link arranged, but he's probably packing his bags, to be honest. But having space in the public conscience and the spin-off that generate is really important. Tim's mission is inspiring the next generations of scientists and engineers, and they're the ones who will be taking forward the satellite applications sector going forward. So I'm hoping that the combination of that and the work we're doing on applications will make space less exotic, make it more mainstream, and we'll start talking about the applications rather than the sort of exotic bits of space that maybe alienate some people. So what we're about today is actually using space to make better decisions. I'm hoping by the end of today you can understand things about how space can reduce medical diagnosis timescales. Also, which streets to avoid in Leicester. Apologies to anyone from Leicester. But also, how you can avoid getting your feet wet in Lincolnshire. There are many applications of space, and I'm hoping today you're going to get a good flavour of the sort of different things we can do with space. As was sort of indicated in your sort of joining instructions, the main aim of today is to share the outcomes of the projects that we funded over the last year. But we're also hoping that you'll hear about how projects have been using space and working with their public sector counterparts. You have a real opportunity today to hear firsthand from the people doing the work what they've been doing. You can ask them questions. You can also network with your policy colleagues and your delivery colleagues. They have similar challenges. There may be opportunities there where you can work together or work together going forwards. And I'm hoping today you make some really good connections. With that, I'm going to hand you over to John Veazey, who's going to introduce how the sessions are going to run today, and he's also going to then chair the session. Thanks.